goodness, I just went out for a walk in the rain, so the hair is frizzed. Anyway, probably shouldn't be touching our hair when we're making food anyway, but oh well, I'm the one eating it. So today is my famous by other people's standards. I don't call it famous, but my bacon tofu. So this is the tofu that I use. It's firm, it's not extra firm, and you can buy this anywhere, literally. I always get organic because there's so many GMO, genetically modified ones out there that I don't like the chemicals in the genetically modified ones. So it's not that it's genetically modified, it's that the chemicals they use to genetically modify it, I try to stay clear from. So this is what I use. And this is the tofu press I use. It's super easy, and I will put the link below. And then you just cut it open, drain it, and then I rinse it because I just like to rinse it. Doesn't say to do that. But then I just stick it in and put it in the container, and then you twist it. And then I like to make it even. So I kind of like to push down on it. And then as you can see, it's already starting to get some of the water, the liquid, sorry, a little too high, the liquid. So I will put this in the fridge, and I like to do it overnight, but it doesn't need to be overnight. I just like it nice and firm because I like it crispy and I like it firm. So I will put this in the fridge overnight, and I will then show you how I marinate it. Okay, so here is the marinade for the tofu. So that little guy doesn't like to stay up. So we're just gonna lay him down. I'll put the link for all this stuff on there. Okay, so we're gonna start off with, so Bragg's amino acid is what I use. I am gluten-free, I have celiac, so I have to be gluten-free. You can use tamari, which is also gluten-free, or you can use regular soy sauce. It's up to you. So I usually double my recipes. You'll watch me, and most of the time I double them. The reason I double this, so this is gonna be a fourth twice, and normally I'd put it in a half a cup, but I kind of just want you to see the real recipe. So then I'm gonna do vegetable broth. So also doubling it, but it calls for a fourth. And then the reason I double the tofu recipe is because I actually like to have it to marinate more than one time. So this marinates twice, and that's why I do it. Okay, and then we're gonna do, I don't know if you guys know what this is. This is liquid smoke. Oh great, it's not open. Hold on, I'm gonna have to figure out how to open it here. Well, I might have a knife, maybe. I'll use a fork. Okay, don't do this at home. Okay, let me get a knife. I told you I was gonna bring you real life, and this is real life. Me halfway stabbing myself, trying to do something in the kitchen. Bob would be dying if he was down here right now. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever seen liquid smoke. You can get it, let's see, it's over near like barbecue sauce and stuff like that. But it actually does bring the flavor of something that's been smoked. So it's a little trick I use when I'm making stuff that I want to kind of taste smoky. So, and these things never work. How many know these things never work? Like, I can't ever get this thing off. So hopefully I can edit this out, but I don't really know how to edit videos yet. So, okay, got it. All right, so it's going to be a tablespoon of liquid smoke. So I'm gonna do, that's 1 tablespoon, and I'm gonna do 2, because I'm gonna, it's okay, doesn't matter if it's over a little, be just a little bit more smoky. So, and then I'm gonna do lemon, which always have lemon juice in my house. So the lemon. I never memorize my recipes. I always just have them written down. My brain is too full of other things to try to remember everything. So it's okay. Use what I do. I have it all written down. Okay, tomato paste. So this is tomato paste. I buy a case at Costco just because it's cheap and I use it. So it's calling for, I think, a tablespoon. Yeah, so we're gonna use 2 tablespoons. So I will take it out of here though. Oh, this fork's coming in handy. There we go. I'm glad I got it out. So I will typically put this in like a Tupperware container. Okay, and then I'm going to teach you something about somebody that cooks a lot. These are dots, and it's garlic, and they're frozen. And you know what? I don't want to chop right now. So I'm just going to use these, and it calls for a couple of garlic cloves. You can put as much garlic as you want. I love garlic, so I probably tend to put a little too much garlic in everything. But my husband eats what I eat, so it's okay. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and so then what I do is I just kind of make sure that the tomato is all mixed in there. So this off too. Mix it all up. You could use a whisk too. I typically just use a fork, but you can use a whisk. But make sure if you're using the frozen dots, you can get them. You can't get them at like a Whole Foods place. I've never found them at a health food store, but I find them at a regular grocery store like Bonds or Ross or something like that, just in the frozen section. So this is our marinade, and the reason I have the marinade in this glass container is because it's small and it's compact, so I can get a little bit deeper my tofu in there. So I'm going to show you next how I chop up the tofu and put it in there to marinate. So now that we've pressed the tofu, you can kind of see how much water actually comes out of tofu. So if you're not getting this much water out of your tofu, then it's taking away from the flavor that you can acquire while you're cooking it. So all we're gonna do is dump this in the sink and then open it up. And then what I'm gonna do, hopefully you can see this good, I'm gonna cut it into 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it on its side and I'm going to cut how small I want it. I typically like it about there. You can do it smaller, get a knife that can go smaller, but I know how I like my tofu, so if you're just starting, so look, I got 4 pieces out of that. Okay, and then I'm gonna, let me get this in the camera, put it in to there. Sometimes I lay some up on the side too. So I can get 4 out of that. I'm good with that because I typically use 3 pieces for a sandwich. So then I've got a lot of sandwiches that I can use it for. So, and then I just keep layering it. I feel a little short in this camera today. I think it fell down. I'm a little short today. I'm trying to reach in. Okay, sorry about that. I only have 1 tofu so I'm not redoing this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so then I'm just gonna layer it. I'm just gonna lean in so you can see my head. It's not really important that you see my face. It's more important that you see this anyway. So, okay. So this is what it should look like. Okay, and then I put the lid on it. And then I kind of do this just to kind of get the flavors to start to absorb in it. Okay. And that's it. And then we're gonna put it back in the fridge, and I usually do this overnight. That's why I kind of have tofu rotating. I typically have 1 in here and or in here. So one pressing, and then, so I'll wait another day or two and then I'll put another one in here. This will come out tomorrow. And the next video, I'm gonna show you how to make it and how to cook it so it's nice and crispy. And then actually how to make my favorite sandwich with it.